Hi everyone, welcome back to another tutorial, and for today's tutorial I want to show you how to make this TikTok pendant. And I made it in the dark purple with the white pearls, and I also made it in this pink, opal and white with the dangles on it as well. Some people don't really care for the dangle on this, but you're welcome to just make the pendant without the dangles. You don't have to make the dangles on this. It's just an extra added piece. But making this, I used, in one of them I used the Czech Firepolish, or sorry, Czech seed beads, and in this one I used Toho seed beads. So because of that, I had to reinforce it in the front and in the back because it was very flimsy and loose no matter how many times I went through it. This one here is not so flimsy as this one, but you're welcome. I am going to show you how to do this embellishment on the top, and I'm going to show you how to embellish the back just to keep all of it nice and snug and tight. And you're welcome to put the dangles on, but you really don't have to. But I am going to make this tutorial showing you how to do the dangles. If you want to do them, you do them. If you don't, you don't. So for this, you're going to need 8mm pearls. You will need 4 4mm fire polish. You're going to need 8 3mm fire polish. You will need these, they're called flower cups. They're a flower cup bead. They are from, I got these from the Potomac Bead Company, and they are 7x5 flower cup. And for this whole entire tube, it was $4.99. But this tube here, I made, there's 8 flower cups per pendant. So this is, I've made 2 pendants with this and including this, so that's going to be 3 pendants, and I still have half of a container of the flower cups. They actually go a long way. So this color I'm using today is Jet Labrador Full Flower color, and they are $4.99. This particular one's $4.99, but it all depends on the finish of a bead is what you pay for on most beads. So you will need 8 of these cups, flower cups, or you can use crystals, you can use pearls, you can use whatever you want on the very ends of your dangles. I just thought the flower cups looked good, and that's probably why I called it a TikTok pendant. Okay, because it kind of goes tick-tock, tick-tock. You will need 4 15-0 seed beads, just 4 of them. That's all you need. You will need 28 if you're doing the dangle. You will need 28 crystal bicones. Other than that, you only need 12 in just this pendant alone. The rest are in the fringe on the bottom here. You will need a 3.9, I believe it is, Montee, and this is a Swarovski Montee. It has the X on the back of the base of it. So this is the kind you want to look for. I think the Preciosa ones have like a box on the bottom of them with 2 holes, but they don't crisscross. They're not like the Swarovski bottoms. So this Montee here, you can get these at Potomac Bead Company. You can also get them at Fire Mountain Gems. So I will link both sites, and you can purchase them from wherever you want if you want to get some of the Swarovski Montees. These are, I'm using 11-0 Toho seed beads. Again, you could use the Czech fire polish or Czech seed beads as I done in here. It still turn out very beautiful, so it's entirely up to you what you want to use in bead wise. I am using a Nymo Thread, and it is a size D Nymo, and you will need, which I forgot to grab, a size 12 beading needle, because you're going to be going through your work several times and you want to use a small needle. Actually, that's a crappy needle. I cannot stand using bent needles, so I'm going to get a new one. This is my tube that I keep of all my used bent needles, and I'm really fussy about bent needles. I can't stand using them. fact, I have a really hard time watching videos with bent needles. They really irritate that. I don't know, it's like a pet peeve, you know? They irritate me when people are using super bent needles. It drives me insane. I want to just reach out and pass them a brand new needle. I got my needles here somewhere. Yep, here we go. So, I bought, if people are inquiring about these packages or these containers I've got, these here I purchased off Etsy, and they're just called magnetic beading needle cases. And I purchased 2 of them, one for my size 10 and one for my size 12, but I took the magnets off the backs of them. They came with a magnet on them. I don't use the magnet, and I don't like to have a magnet near my computer, so I absolutely do not. The only reason I labeled this one is just to decipher from size 12 to size 10. So I know these are my size 10s, these are my size 12s. Yes, they are full of needles, but again, I purchased my needles from all over the place. This has a stack. These are all size 12 beading needles. Okay, I've got hundreds of needles in this case, and it holds a lot. In fact, I buy pony needles, English beading needles, and that's basically all I use, are the English beading needles and pony needles. For the size 10, this case is almost full, believe it or not, of needles. So there's quite a bit of needles. Can you see why I do not go through, I can stand going and using a bent needle? They're so cheap. These are, you can buy the pony needles off of Etsy for $1.99 for a pack of 20 or a pack of 25. So that's super cheap. So type in pony needles on Etsy and you will find, I just linked it to someone for the needles. I buy size 10 and 12, and I usually buy 2-3 packs at a time and fill up my little cases here. And I always dispose of my needles in this manner. I put them in an empty bead tube, and I'll wait till this is full, and then I'll chuck this in my garbage. This way, it's not going to hurt the garbage man, and I'll probably get in trouble, like I told you before in one of my videos. You can get in lots of trouble for throwing needles in your garbage. So I suggest you don't do that. Anyway, let's get on with the video. I'm going to go and thread my needle I didn't take out yet. So I'm going to pull out a size 12 because we are going to go through our work several times. And during the process of me going through my work, I'll probably bend this needle and throw it out and get a new one because, like I said, I have a real peeve with bent needles. I can't use them. If I get one bend in them, it goes into that tube. As you can see, there's probably some needles in here that aren't too badly bent. Like this one, I'm pretty sure people would probably reuse this one here, but it's got a little bend in it and I won't use it. So it's just me, okay? I'm not rich by no means, but these needles, I told you, $1.99 for a pack of 25. Who can go wrong, right? See you in a bit. Okay, so I've strung on about 2 yards of Fireline simply because I'm going to be doing the dangle, and I'm going to try and do it all with one thread and not have to rethread my needle. I hate that, but it probably can and probably will happen. So now the first thing you're going to do is you're going to need 4 of your pearls, and you're going to need 4 of your crystals. So I'm going to use, I've got 2 colors of crystals here. I got a dark amethyst, you know, a dark one, and I got a light one, and they're both AB coated, so you might want to check that out. So first thing you're going to do is thread your needle, and we're going to make my hands visible so you guys can see what I'm doing. Just fix this camera up quickly. Now on your needle you're going to pick up 1 pearl, 1 4mm, 1 pearl, 1 4mm, 1 pearl, 1 4mm, until you have 4 of each on your needle. And bring those down, leaving yourself a little tail, enough to tie yourself a couple of good knots. So let's tie this in a knot. So there's 1, and there's 2, and that's all. I'm not going to tie any more knots because this knot, I have to go through these beads again, and I really don't want to snag that knot. So go through just the pearl that is beside your knot. And you're going to start off by picking up 9 seed beads. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So pick up 9 of your 11-ohs. You're going to make a circle, go back through that pearl. You're exiting here, so you're just going to go back and exit through it the same way you are now. And you're just going to sit those on top. Now you're going to take your needle, kind of push these behind, these ones you just put on, and exit through your crystal now. Just the crystal. Alright? Pick up 7 11s. 2. That's a funky shaped one. Throw that one in the garbage. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when you're making a circle around your crystal, make sure you put your needle in front of this group of 9. So here's your 9. Make sure the needle goes in front through your crystal, so that when you put your 7 beads on here like this, they're sitting in front of this one, okay, not behind. So keep your work pulled tight. Now you're going to exit through the pearl and go from the back side of the 7 you just put on. So go behind the pearl, or go behind the 7 and go through the pearl, and just kind of get your thread to work in that direction so that these 7 beads actually sit on top in front. Now you're going to pick up 9. Make a circle and go from, because we're going through the pearl, push these ones to the front and go back through your pearl like so. Making sure that these 7 are sitting in front. Okay. Now exit from the front. Put your thread in the front and exit in the front. Oops, that snagged behind a bead. So careful. Now you're going to pick up 7. On your needle. Go through the crystal, making a circle. Oh, did I ever happen to mention that I hate Nymo, but I have to use it in the air? Sad, 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 sad. It's really wrapped around these beads. Lovely. Oh my God, why does it do this? I don't even know what I did here. It's a disaster. I just love getting knots. But as much as I like to get teeth pulled. Pull that tail through. Okay, and sit that. Another good thing is take your needle from the top here and just pull it. Is a good way to take the tangles out of your thread, because it doesn't take much to tangle this thread. So now go behind the 7 you put on and enter your pearl. Okay, now pick up 9 beads. And go behind the 7 and make a circle and go back through that pearl. Now stay in the front of it, go through the bicone. Pick up 7. Enter through the front of those ones on the pearl. And now go behind and enter into the pearl. And now you're going to add 9 beads. So enter 9 beads. You're going to pick up 9 beads, go through the pearl, set those on top, and now go through your last crystal. Okay, and now you're going to put on 7. And you're just going to make a circle and go through the crystal like that. And make sure that that sits in the front. So now all you're going to do is exit through the next crystal beside where you're exiting. Try not to snag beads. Keep your work pulled nice and tight. Now in this group of 7 you need to be in the middle bead, which will be the 4th bead in this group of 7. So go up through 4 beads. That will be the middle bead for you. Okay. And now you're going to pick up 115, your rose Monty, and 115. You're exiting here, and you're exiting on this side of your bead. Right, I entered it on this side, so I'm exiting here. So go fold your top across, go into the middle bead across, into your next group of 7, and enter your bead the same side that you're exiting across from it. So I'm exiting over here on this side, I'm going to enter on that side, like this. Okay. Now you're going to go right back through the 15, the Monty and the 15. I just pulled it all out. Yeah, let's try this again. The 15, the Monty, and the 15. Okay. Like so. And now you've exited this side, you're going to enter on this side the bead. So we keep, pardon me, so we keep them straight. So go on this side of the bead and pull this nice and tight. And now you're just going to go through all these beads again in the same fashion you just did. So you're exiting over here, you're going to enter over there. So go back through all these beads, including your Monty and your 15s. Enter on this side, the same side you're exiting across. Pull nice and tight, and then go back up through the 15, the Monty. Wow, I totally missed the Monty here. Not sure how I did that one. But let's see if I can go back out and redo that. So this is how easy it is to miss your miss a bead. I totally missed the Monty. Okay, I'll be back because I gotta pull this all out and I gotta take my needle off. I'll be back. Okay, got it all fixed. So I'm going to just reinforce what I just did. So now I'm gonna go back through, and this time I'm not gonna miss the Monty. I'm making sure I get that hooked. And now through the bead on this side, back down here, making sure I get every single bead. One moment. Okay, now you're going to enter back into this. After you've reinforced it, you're going to go into your last middle bead here where you originally started to do this Monty. Then you're going to go back up the 3 beads on the side. Go back up those 3. And then you're going to enter into the pearl and go up into the next group of 7 into the middle bead. And I'm already in 1 bead. I need to go up 3 more. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so I'm in the 4th bead of the next group. Now you're going to pick up a 15. You're going to make sure your Monty is flipped over so the top of it's up. And then you're going to go through the bottom of that Monty in the other hole, the one you haven't gone through yet, and you're going to pick up another 15. So you're exiting, your thread's exiting on this side of your bead. So you're going to enter on the 4th bead on this side in the same place you're exiting over there. You're going to come around, grab your 15, back through it, through your Monty and through your 15, like so. And then you're going to go through this bead on the other side. You can clearly see where you need to go through. And pull this nice and tight, like that. And once you go through it again, it'll tighten it right up for sure. So go right back through them, all those beads. So your 15, your Monty and your 15. Try not to skip your Monty like I just did previously. Through that center bead, back down through the 15, the Monty and the 15, and then through this center bead. So now all your beads should be sitting nice and centered in there. Make sure this is pulled good and tight. And this is what you should have so far. Alright, now go back up these 3 on here, and then go back into the pearl, into just the pearl. Okay, so there's your Monty is nice and secure on the top of your pendant. Now I'm going to be working from the back, or I could work from the front, it doesn't really matter. But you're going to go, you're exiting out of your pearl, hopefully, just your pearl. You're going to go up 2 beads in the 9 beads that are on the top around your pearl. So go up 2 beads. And now you're going to use your 3mm Firepolish, and you're going to pick up 1 3mm. You're going to skip 2 beads and go into the next bead, which will be the center bead of the 9 beads that are on top of your pearl. And pull. Pick up another Firepolish 3mm, skip, or sorry, don't skip, yeah, skip 2 beads and go into the last 2 beads of the 9 on top of your pearl, like that. So these are going to sit on top kind of wonky like this, but make sure you kind of keep pushing these Firepolish on top. Then you're going to go through the pearl, going backwards, keeping these on top as much as you can, and then go through your crystal 4mm, and this is where my needle's probably going to get bent, and I'm going to chuck it. through your 4mm. Maybe it's gonna let me. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. It's a little tough, tight in there for some reason. Hope all of them aren't like this. Wow, okay. So we got through the 4mm after a little struggle. Then enter through the pearl. And just the pearl only. And now you're going to work yourself back up into those 9 beads, going through 2 beads. Pick up a 3mm fire polish, skip 2 beads, go into that center bead of the 9, like that. Sit this one on top. Pick up another 3mm, skip 2 beads and go into the last 2 beads, and then enter into the pearl, exit in the pearl, and keep these kind of pushed on top so they're not wonky. And then you're going to go through the 4mm crystal again. I don't know why it's tight. There we go. And then you're going to go through the pearl. And then you're going to repeat what you just did over here 2 more times by going up into 2 beads, adding your 2, entering your pearl, going through your crystal, enter your pearl, and go up. Okay, and I will come back after we've gotten our last 4 fire polish on. Okay, so I've completed putting my 3mm fire polish on, and you're exiting out of your last 2 beads here. So this is the last time you're going to have to go through your crystal, and you need to go through your crystal and your pearl. Like that. Okay, and then you want to come back up into those first 2 beads, then into the 3mm fire polish, like that. Now you're going to put on your 4mm and on your fire polish, and you're going to use your last 4 pearls. So pick up 1 4mm fire polish and go through the next 3mm. Pick up 2 11/0s, 1 pearl, 2 11/0s, and this is your 8mm pearl, and then you're just going to go right across into the next 3mm fire polish in this tip up here. Okay, putting that like that. Then you're going to pick up a 4mm fire polish and exit into the 3mm and pulling this nice and tight. Pick up 2 11/0s, pearl, and 2 11/0s, and exit into the next 3mm, placing your pearls like that. And then you're going to pull this nice and tight. Pick up your 4mm fire polish, go into the 3, oops, went into both. Pick up 2 11/0s, 1 pearl, oops, and 2 11/0s. Enter into the 3mm, pick up your last fire polish, put it between your 3mm fire polish, and this is where you're going to pick up your last pearl. Pick up 2 11/0s, your pearl, and 2 11/0s, and go straight across into the next 4mm or 3mm fire polish. And this is what you should have. Okay, now you're going to go into the 4mm, and you're going to just go around and reinforce this row 1 time to make it nice and tight. So I'm going to go through all these beads again, till I come out to where I'm exiting out of that fourth fire polish. And you may not go through all your beads at once. You may only be able to do 1 or 2 at a time. Okay. Trying to do this, I'm just reinforcing. And I don't know where I started or where it ended, so pretty sure I didn't go through these ones yet. Alright, now I'm going to exit into my fire polish. So this row is good and secure now. Alright, should look like this. Now you're going to put on some of your 4mm crystals. And I'm using the light amethyst now, not the dark. That's for my fringe. 2, 4, 6, 8. Alright, so you're going to pick up, because you're beside this 4mm fire polish, you're going to pick up your crystal first and 2 11-ohs. And then you're going to exit into your pearl. And just the pearl. Placing those on top. Exiting out of the pearl, pick up your 2 11-ohs first, and then your crystal bicone, and exit into the 4mm fire polish. Exiting out of the fire polish, pick up your crystal first and 2 11-ohs, and exit into the pearl. Okay, pick up 2 11-ohs and a bicone, exit into the fire polish. Pick up your bicone, enter in, or pick up 2 11-ohs, go into the pearl. Pick up 2 11-ohs and your bicone and enter the 4mm fire polish. Bicone, 2 11-ohs, enter the pearl. And 2 11-ohs and your last 4mm bicone. Okay. Oopsie, something's going on. I can't get my thread to move down. My tail's too long. Alright, so now you've completed this round, and this is what you should have. Now you're going to go through the 4mm, the two seed beads that you put on with the 4mm, and go into the pearl, like so. Okay. Now you're going to pick up 8 11-ohs. I have 8 11-ohs on my needle. You're going to make a circle and go back through the pearl and the pearl only. And pull. And in this front row, make sure, see this round loop of beads? Make sure all your fire polish are behind, because the odd time you can get them where this is pushed behind and your fire polish are sitting out front. So make sure all your loop of beads are showing and the fire polish is kind of behind. Okay, now exit through the 2 beads that you put on with your bicone and enter into the bicone like this. Okay, now pick up 3 11-ohs and go right across into the next bicone. and place those 3 beads in there. And now go through the 2 beads and the pearl, pulling your work nice and tight. Pick up 8 11/0s, and make a circle and go through your pearl. Through your 2 11/0s and your bicone, and pull tight. Now put 3 beads between your bicones, so pick up 3 11/0s and go into the next bicone. And you could probably go into your 2 seed beads all in one pass. And now into your pearl. Okay, now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put your 8 beads, your 3 beads, your 8 beads, and your 3 beads, and I'll come back and show you what to do next. Okay, so we've completed putting all our fancy beads around the outside of our pearl and our crystals. And you're exiting out of the 4mm. You're just going to go back through the 2, past your bicone there, and go right into the pearl. Or, well, you can't make one pass. Then do it with 2. And go into the pearl. Now you're going to go back up into your 8 beads. Just going right through the whole entire row of 8 beads. And I'm coming out of the 8 beads on top here. See these beads down here where your Monty is? There's the 3 beads on top here that we put on. Pick up 5 seed beads and go down through the first 3. And something may get caught in your way, and it could be that middle bead. So let me just do a little maneuvering here. And this is only if you want to embellish the front. You don't have to do this, but I'm doing it because it's going to tighten up your pendant as well. So now you're going to go across into that middle bead, and then you're going to go up through the next 3 beads, and then you're going to pick up 5 11/0s, and then you're going to go back into the 8 beads in here, in this row here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Make sure you go into the 8 beads only, and that will embellish the top. Now you're going to go through till you hit your 8th bead, which, if you can see in the back, you can see the thread where your bead goes into your pearl. Don't know if you can see it on camera, but I'm trying to show it to you here. Go through all these 8 beads again, and now exit into the back of your pearl. So kind of push your beads out of the way, go through the front, and then exit near the back of your pendant, like this. And pull that nice and tight, and now you've got your front part embellished and hopefully nice and tight, like this. Okay, and now you're at the back, and instead of weaving through all these beads, pick up 4 11/0s, and this again will help reinforce it. You're exiting on this side of your pearl, so drop down into this pearl and enter it this way, and just enter the pearl like that, and pull those beads down. So again, this is going to help you keep it firm. Pick up 4 more, and now go up into this pearl and exit into the front of the pearl now, like so. And then leave these 4 at the back like this. Okay? Now go back up into the 8 beads and exit out of the 8th bead. Okay, 3. And here you're going to pick up 5 11-ohs. Drop down, go into the 3 beads on top here, into the middle bead across that way, and then up into the 11, or the 3 11s up here. Okay, now pick up 5 beads, and now go into your 8 beads all the way around and exit out of the back of your pearl. So make sure you enter into where your 8 beads are up here, starting there, going through the 8 and stopping after the 8th bead. If you have to count them, then count them. If you can't see that thread going into your pearl where you need to end, and keep this pulled tight. My thread ends there. So now I'm going to enter into the pearl and come out on the back of the pearl, the back of my work, like that, and pulling this nice and tight. So now you have 2 of your pearls embellished. Okay, and you're just going to repeat what I just did. So I'm at the back of my work now. Pick up 4 11-ohs. You're on this side, so drop down into this pearl here, the one right below where you're exiting, and place those 4 beads in behind that pearl, keeping it nice and secure. Pick up 4, and now exit in this side of the pearl and come out the front. It's very easy to do. Okay, placing these 4 and making sure they go in behind like that. Okay, pull it tight. Now you're exiting the pearl, just go up into your 8 beads again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 beads. Pick up 5. And drop down into these 3 here. Pull. Now exit into the middle bead. Come up into the 3 in the front of your work like that. And I can see my thread starting to get a little tangled, so I'm just going to pull it until it stops tangling. Alright, and now you're going to pick up 5 beads and go into your 8 beads and exit back into your pearl. So the start of my 8 is right here. I can clearly see where it is. You may not be able to see it in the camera, but I can see where my thread goes into my pearl. So pull this tight. Now from the front of your pearl, enter the pearl and exit out of the back like that. No, it's really easy. And that's what you have 3 of them done. And now this firms up and makes it a little more sturdier. I'm going to finish this last one and I'll be right back.